Hey, what's going on? I am so canceled. I got took out with the trash 2 months ago. I know. Okay. I know that. I know that. I understand. Ain't nobody checking for the super late, super inconsistent, super whatever. Okay. I know that. I got my coffee, but this the coffee I drank 2 hours ago. That's how late I am. But it's Locks Coffee and Combo and Ready to Love is back. Okay, it's back, and I have been tuning in. Okay, look at me, still got my earbud in. I have been tuning in, and I have been enjoying every moment. And we have got to episode 6, honey. And I just had to come on here, okay? I just had to join the party. I know I don't deserve to join the party. I know that I was on punishment all year. I've been expelled from all my classes, my review classes, show review classes. I've been expelled, put out of the school. But honey, I just had to show up. I just had to show up because we got to episode 6 and I'm like, I know it's called What About Your Friends or something like that. But I thought they should named it We Playing Checkers, and I thought it was chess. But I'll get to that in a minute. I hope you guys have been doing well. I hope you guys have been maintaining through the pandemic and through everything's going on. My life has been a little bit crazy. Work, 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 work. So I have not been, I've been watching the shows, but not well enough to review the show. So that's why I haven't been on here with you. But I'm Ready to Love is like my favorite reality show. And so I watch it with intensity. And so I thought I'd just jump on here and tell y'all my thoughts. This season has been so good. I think that the castmates are very interesting, very intriguing. They've given us everything from drama to shade to tea. Literally in that order, okay? So we get to episode, and is it just me, or is it because they're in the resort that it feels like it's a little bit sped up? And the reason I say that is because look, like this Friends episode is coming awful quick. Like, I just feel, I don't know, y'all. It feels like it came quick. I don't know. Could just be me. So we just gonna say it's you, okay? Because you know you late anyway. But they here in the day last week or the week prior to this, we sent Alicia home, and this week it's time to send a guy home, and we're meeting the friends, and it's so funny because Denise started just laughing like, "Oh, this is not." This is not what we want. But I thought overall that the friends did a really great job of kind of sticking to the what would be needed as a good friend to talk about when you're meeting a friend or relative's potential mate. So I had no problem with none of the friends. Now some of the castmates on the other hand, they were a bit much, but the friends themselves were kosher with me. All of them were great. So of course we have Brian and Alex, and don't kill me if I don't got the names right, because y'all can see I'm still at work and I don't have no notes. I'm free lancing this off the top of my head, but Alex and Brian, and of course Brian is in the hot seat because Brian ghosted. He said he didn't ghost Alicia. He what did he call it? Zombied or something. Now, me personally, I had no problem with what Brian did. And I know that he took a lot of flack for not going back to her room, and mainly because Bugaboo, what was her name? Shay, that was just there as a plant. She hadn't connected with nobody. We sent her home a couple of days ago because that's where she went home with Alicia. Okay. Because she was being super, super messy. But my thing was this. They had went on a date. It was okay. She invited him to come back. He said, okay, he would. But he had already been on a date with her. So this was the after date. This wasn't like the main date. He goes by. He kisses Alex and just want to tell her good night with the door open. Somebody, being a bugaboo, sees it and it's like, okay, so he didn't go back to her room. He changed his mind. He had that right. I just didn't see the big deal. I don't see it as him ghosting her. I see it as a sign. Like, he's really not that into you, okay? Moving on. So I didn't see the big deal. But anyway, he took a lot of flack from it. But he meets her friend, and the friend just kind of, wants to know where his head is. They talk about the fact that he has a 3-year-old daughter. And he says that, this daughter is the love of his life. And after loving her, he realizes that if he ever feels this about a woman, it's time for him to take a knee. Okay, that's real poetical, wasn't it? That was poetical. But I see you, Brian. I see you. And so after they meet, the friend simply says, she wasn't feeling Brian. She felt like Alex had her guard up. And again, I think it had to do with the fact of what happened with Alicia. But I really feel like Alex, girl, he just liked you more. So when he went by that room, he was like, I know this isn't going back to Alicia. It's a dating competition. You won, boo. But anyway, so she felt, the friend felt like Alex was being a little bit guarded. And so that's kind of how that went. Then we had Winter, Joy, Jay, and Edwin go on a group date. Now, I didn't like this. Okay. I did not have a problem with the 4 of them connecting because both Edwin and Jay have interest in both of Winter and Joy. So I thought the idea of them acknowledging that was great. I didn't like the fact that they all 4 sat down together. I think it would have been better if Jay, Joy, and her girlfriend went, Winter, Edwin, and her girlfriend went, and then they had a switcheroo. You know what I mean? Like, they could have all kind of met in the rotunda for a few minutes, acknowledged the fact that all of them have mutual interest. Jay said, as long as you don't say him and him, you right on point. So everybody's kind of liking everybody, digging everybody's vibe. So, but I think they should have separated because it became awkward. Well, who you like more? Okay. Now, you in a tough situation. It's kind of like a win-win, lose-lose type of thing. Because to me, if I say that I like Joy more, how does that make Winter feel? Or vice versa. It could have went the other way. So I feel like, those questions, if they had separated them and he said, well, I'm feeling Joy a little more. I think Winter is beautiful. I definitely sense something is there. But Joy is like in the number 1 slot now. But Winter not sitting right there hearing that. Okay, so I feel like I wasn't feeling that, but I thought overall it went okay. I do feel like Jay is giving us. I think his name was Alex from season 1. Don't quote me on it, but the bald guy from season 1 who was just kind of what is it called? Ricky Smooth, really smooth, salesman-y. That's what her girlfriend said. He's giving us all the right answers, very smooth, very, like, can I really trust? A little too good to be true. He is kind of giving that. Edwin is feeling a little bit warmer, a little bit more realer, but some buzz behind the scene on there too. So they all met. Like I said, I like the idea that they acknowledge the fact that all 4 of them are kind of in an entanglement. But I just don't think they should have met at the same time. But it went okay. Then we had Rashid and Adriana go on a date, and her friend was very, very nice. She just kind of went into the fact that Rashid and Adriana definitely have some chemistry. They do. They had been seeing each other before. They kind of have some of the same things. What I really liked about this day was that Rashid was very, very adult about the fact that he had made some mistakes in the past. You know, there's no denying this. My first marriage went wrong because I messed up and she messed up. You know, I was chasing that dream and I wasn't always honest and forthcoming. The friend said, well, what you going to do with her? He said, well, I've learned from that. And you know, that's what life is all about. We mess up, but as long as we learn on our journey, we become better people. We become better people for the people that we encounter in the future. So I thought that was really good. I thought he did a great job. It was very much a sense of chemistry between the two of them. The friend gave him the thumbs up, like, yes. Then she gonna say, but there's this other guy. Really, Adriana? Now, my thing with Adriana is this. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman. Very much feminine, coy, know how to flirt, know how to engage. But something ain't right. Something with her and Denise is just done thrown this whole thing off for me, okay? I got my good eye on you. There's definitely some rivalry there, and it's gonna be like that every season. I know it's gonna be two people. Last year we had Divine and Alexis. You know, it's always gonna be something. But Adriana seems to be wanting to be in this fight, and she the little dog. And Denise a big bull. Okay. Girl, I keep thinking, girl, you don't want to haggle with her. She the wrong one. Pick somebody. Pick Alex over there. Simone, girl, go and get Simone. But you don't want Denise. Denise don't seem like the type you want. Now, of course, Denise has shown herself to. She even told Brian in the the Liberal, I just can't sugarcoat nothing. You know, she's just really blunt, abrasive, to the point. And I'm like, Adrian, girl, do you like Cal Funny? Or do you want him not to like Denise? Which is it? Because her friend was like, you giving me all this stuff and none of this is of substance. This is like a lust. He's tall, dark, chocolate, chiseled. But girl, what y'all got? What would make y'all be ready to love each other? The show is ready to love. Girl, you just don't want Denise to have him, girl. That's it. Now, Denise, I feel like Adriana is coming for Denise. She went and told Rashid what Denise said in deliberations about the narcissism. Did any of us agree with Denise? No, he's not a narcissist. But that was something that was done in their own private time. Y'all acting like this is junior high school. Then after that, you want to have a talk with Denise. When Denise is with Cal Funny, you want to be with Cal Funny. You pulling him away from the pool type. Girl, do you want Denise? I said it. I'm not going to take it back. But I just really think, you know, I was glad the friend pumped her brakes and was like, hey, you don't want him. So speaking of Denise goes out on a date with Cal Funny and Anthony. Now, even though I did not like the foursome date, the entanglement with Winter and Joy, I did appreciate this three-way date between Denise, Anthony, and Cal Funny, because these are two mature men who they didn't seem pressed or awkward about the fact that it was her girlfriend, and the two of them. Very good conversation. The girlfriend was very direct. I think she did a good job of asking, you know, really good questions that Denise could use to really pilfer on and kind of decide. We know that Denise is really feeling Cal Funny. But Anthony, hey, Anthony ain't nothing to sleep on. I think that I love his locks. He's a cute guy. He said, look, it's just a tall one and a not so tall one, chocolate brother. So they both seem to handle themselves really well. Now, what I don't like is the cheating question. Everybody wants to know if you cheat. Okay. It's a viable question, but I just personally don't feel like is the question that, just my personal opinion. I don't think they should ask. I think what somebody should ask is like, how many people you dated in the last 12 months? Like, are you a serial dater? Are you going from person to person? Are you not willing to invest any time? Like, if they get on your nerve one time, you like, girl, and ghost them, Brian. Like, are you that person? Because I think that would be a better question. But she did ask. And Anthony said, yeah, he cheated back in his football days, but he's past that now. They talked about breaking curses, generational curses. They talked about legacy. So really, really good grown folks conversation. Of course, when it was over, she asked who she was feeling more. And she said that Cal Funny. Okay. She liked Cal Funny. It is what it is. But like I say, Anthony, I wouldn't sleep on Anthony if I was her, because Anthony is definitely a cutie pie. Then we have trying to make the disaster date last. I guess I'm to the disaster date. Naya and Chris. And that's the reason I did this video, because I don't know if we're playing checkers or chess, okay? Now, we all know that this whole 5 weeks prior to this, Chris and Naya have been together. They was a couple, okay? That's what they was, okay? We were pulling for them, okay? We were like, oh, all right. Y'all ought to, I even watched somebody video and said, well, y'all just ought to self-eliminate and go on over there and start the party. Y'all pump your brakes, though. So Naya brings her cousin, and I get that, because that's who I would probably bring. I don't have like a lot of close girlfriends, but I got some cousins. So some cousins that are dig, scratch, until they make you bleed, okay? They're going to get the info we need. So the cousin did a great job, I thought, in really just asking, those questions that you should ask. Maybe that you have been kind of caught up in the moment of things and not thought like about religion and about family and about, those things. And so we do good. My man's an ordained deacon. He loves family. His baby brother is his best friend. Then we ask about the money. Give me the money. Now, both sides made some critical mistakes, if you ask me. Not the cousin. The cousin was right to ask about the finances. The finances are important. In a relationship, my pastor says it all the time. Romance without finance is a nuisance. Okay? It is what it is. That coin is important. But Chris, I feel like where he went wrong is he gave way too much detail to this question. She asked about the finances. His voice went up. He started trying to do the math in his mind. He started literally dividing bills up. And they ain't even got no lease together yet, okay? He started delving them out. Okay, we're going to split the mortgage. You're going to take the cable. I'm going to take the cell phones. You pay your car insurance. I pay my car insurance. Every other month, we rotate out the water and the gas. Chris, slow down. Slow down, Chris. I'm going to need you to slow down. So he got all hyped. Okay, he tried to figure it out. And she heard split mortgage, and boom. It was like, no. He said he felt the energy shift. So then she gave him some follow-up questions. So I give you that, Naya, to help him kind of clean it up. Like, well, do you think the man should fill in or should he lead? And Chris just couldn't get it back together. He gave too much detail because this question was not that it was deep, and it's something you definitely have to discuss. And I know where Naya is in her life. She's told us she's had 4 miscarriages. She wants to be a mother. She wants to be a housewife. She wants to be cared for. She's looking for a protector. And I get that. But Chris, you was going too fast. You was doing too much. What I needed Chris to do, because I like Chris, and I feel like out of everybody there, Chris matched what you were looking for. Here's the thing, Chris. First of all, the question did not take that much detail. He could have said something simple as, when the time comes and we get together, we will discuss our finances, and I, as the man of the household, will make sure we are good. That's it. We don't need to know how it's going to be divided up. All that. Or what he was trying to allude to, which to me was still okay, was the fact that it's a partnership. And I feel like that men and women, we're in the 21st century, and that men and women, the roles are not always so defined, which I agree with. And that, the truth of the matter is this, that she may make more money than me. I'm in radio. He said he'd do it for the love of it, not for the coin. So I understand where he was coming from, that I know my position. Well, he didn't necessarily mean he knew his position in that he would make her be the breadwinner and he be the little house husband. I think he meant that he understood enough to know that the woman he's with may make more money than he does. And therefore, the household finances might not just all cling on him. And so he understands that he's secure enough in his manhood that he's okay with however we have to split it up. I'm here. I wasn't offended by the fill-in part either, because of what I think he was saying is that I'm going to make sure nothing is lacking. So if you take the whole mortgage, fine. If you can only take 1/4 of the mortgage, fine. Whatever it is, or none of the mortgage, fine. I'm going to make sure everything is covered. That's what I heard. I didn't hear fill in so much as I heard, I'm going to make sure everything is covered. I do feel like he was going too fast. That's, at the end of the day, that's what I feel like. He went too fast. He gave way too much detail. And it really was a conversation that we have later on. Now, on Naya's side of the fence, I do understand, Naya. You are looking for a certain thing, very specific. You want to be a mama, you want to be a housewife. You ain't got no time at the age of 42 to raise nobody or to try to create somebody or try to teach them how to take care of the household. You need that man to be there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, but you like Chris. Up until this conversation, you was gushing over Chris. So one bad answer, he got to go? No, that's a conversation that you guys need to have. He even went to Joy, and Simone and Alex was there, and they told him what he wanted. I like what Joy said. Joy said, no, you know what? We living in a day and world where I would like a good house husband. Make sure that house is clean, the food is fixed, kids is in the tub and in the bed. And there's a lot of women, there's a lot of Joys out there that say, you know what, if I'm making 6 figures, my husband or mate does not have to contribute and take all of the big heavy labor of the finances. Doesn't mean he can't lead either. Just because you may pay the mortgage and he may pay the water bill doesn't mean he cannot lead. I don't feel like money determines who's in charge. Now, I do feel like it's a partnership, and I like what Anthony and Kyle Funny said. I'm not trying to rule over you. I'm here to protect, to guide, to be there for you, to support you. So, even if she's paying the mortgage, he can still be a good partner, a good helpmate to give her everything she wants. Now, what I feel like Naya is doing is Naya is so caught up on her fantasy that she's got it in her hand like this. This is what I got to have. And so she's going to miss out on something if she would open up her head and her mind. You may not be able to carry the baby. You may have to do adoption. You may have to do surrogacy. You may marry a man with children already that you nurture. It's a lot of options out there that you can have the dream. You can have a man that says, hey, you know what? I'm at home with this baby so you can build your empire. But when you get home and you come through those doors, everything you need is taken care of. All you got to do is love on that baby and love on me. I'm taking care of everything else. You know, it's a lot of ways. Sometimes our mind is so fixed on one thing that we can't see what else is out there. And it's something out there that's way bigger. He's able to give us what exceedingly abundantly above all we could ever ask or think. That's Bible, baby. And that's what I don't want Naya to miss out on, that you so stuck on this thing that you miss out on better than you could ever imagine, better than you could have ever dreamed of, because you stuck on that one little thing. And that's why I feel like, I don't think she's a gold digger. She out here mad. She said she gonna spill that tea on Will Packer and on. Shout out to Chloe Johnson for spilling that tea. But I don't want her to be so closed-minded that she misses out on a wonderful life. It might not come the way she expected it to. And I think Chris might have been the guy for her. They could have worked together. You know, she didn't want to hear him after that. He went back and tried to clean it up. She didn't want to hear it. And Chris fell victim to having all his eggs in one basket. So we get down to deliberation, comes between him and Brian. And really, I don't know why Brian was on the chopping block. Like I said, they mad at him for something that I don't think he did wrong. But anyway, Joy says she over him. And then Simone says she was the only one trying to vote him off. Tea. I don't know why they spilling all the tea this season, but hey, I'm here for it. So we get there, and now it's between Chris and Brian. Also, side note, T is that Edwin should have been in that bottom too. But I digress. But Naya is here because we in deliberations, and she says she is all about Mr. Edwin. Chris who? She literally said, Chris who? Girl, last week it was all about Chris. Now it's Chris who? Girl. I was like so disappointed in her. And I just felt like she just dismissed him. And he seemed to be such a genuine guy. And she was the only one that had the power to save him because he had not made connections with anybody else. He had put all them eggs in one basket. When you doing this game right here, this Ready for Love challenge, you can't do that. Same thing with Alicia last week. She only wanted Brian. Brian didn't want her. Well, she was very much a lady about it. She said, I didn't want nobody else no way, so it was time for her to go. But I feel like, with Chris, I'm like, God, if you had reached out maybe to an Alex or Simone, or, how she still there too, y'all? Who she'd have made a connection with? I'll wait. Somebody tell me. But she's still there. So I'm wondering, if Chris had just reached out, made some connections with somebody else, he would still be there, because she totally dismissed him, and he seems to be a really genuine guy. I bet his DM is full of women who say, oh, I don't mind helping on the mortgage. I got that water bill, daddy. I got the gas electric too, daddy. He seems to be a really good guy. When he first came on the first episode, I was giving him with the chest out and the fuchsia suit. I was like, But after he went on that first date with her, and that body up under there, I said, we're cute. I like his hair. He got a nice smile. I started warming up to old Chris. Yes. And you gonna dismiss him, Naya? Girl, I'm watching you. And Edwin probably don't want you. So now you done played checkers where you should have been playing chess. What y'all think? I'm glad to be back with you guys. I'm enjoying this season. I gotta come back next week so we can see if she go home. Y'all have a good one.